The most inspiring person in my life is my mom. She is one of the most amazing people that I know. She does so much for my sisters and I and has supported us through everything that we have ever wanted to do. My mom works as a teacher for the Maryland School for the Blind. She has been working at the Maryland School for the Blind for the past 12 years. The Maryland School for the Blind is a school for students who are blind, and most of the students have many other handicaps. The majority of the students are not just blind or visually impaired, but are multiply disabled. I believe that this creates unique challenges for her as a teacher and for her teaching and meeting all the students with their special needs. This year, my mom teaches a class with students who are all confined to wheelchairs. 5 out of the 8 of her students are also deaf and have very limited communication. But my mom remains dedicated to her students and believes that each of her students has great potential. I once asked her if it was frustrating not seeing improvements within her students from month to month and year to year. She responded that her students improve every day. She said that improvement is not necessarily improving on a skill such as math or reading, but what really matters is improving with your life skills. For example, a little boy in her class last year has been tube-fed for his entire life. He had never been given the opportunity to eat by himself. When he was placed in my mom's class, she questioned why he had been tube-fed. She believed that with the right help, that her student would be able to eat on his own. She asked his parents and the nurse why the student was being tube-fed, but neither of the school nurse nor his parents really knew the reason behind his feeding device. Since the student was a baby, he had been fed through a feeding device, and his family just believed that it was necessary. But in my mom's eyes, she believed that he would be able to be more independent if the feeding device had been removed. With the student's parent support and the support of the medical community, the student's feeding device was removed. He had learned to eat with assistance, but he had learned to eat on his own without his tube-fed device. My mom said that improvement is all based on perspective, and she was right. I never thought of it like that, because as students we were all taught that it was our test scores that mattered, and our improvement was being tracked throughout our schooling. My mom goes above and beyond at work. She is part of the school plays, she is part of the school field day team, and she teaches the students how to swim. 4 years ago, my mom started a program to take the students at the Maryland School for the Blind out in their community. She takes them on all different trips. Last year, she asked me if I wanted to come sailing along with her and her students on the Chesapeake Bay. I was very hesitant at first, but in the end, I agreed. I have listened to my mom constantly talk about her students, and I have attended their school plays and their graduations. My mom even brings some of her students home for dinner. But I was still unsure about how I would feel being on a boat and having the responsibility of looking after her students. I was very nervous at first, but my mom told me that reminded me that they were just people like you and me. To my surprise, she was right. The students all had different personalities and were able to do more than I could have ever imagined them doing. The students were able to tie knots and pull the boat sail up. I thought that none of this would ever be possible, and I was amazed by their abilities. At the end of the day, I was so grateful that I had been given the opportunity to work with her students. My mom is an inspiration, and she is the reason that I chose to become a teacher. She has shown me that with a good attitude